The morning started like any other. The scent of stale coffee hung in the air, a comfort I'd grown used to, almost ritualistic. I padded into the kitchen, my bare feet cool against the linoleum. The mail lay scattered on the counter, a mundane collection of bills and flyers. My gaze fell on an electricity bill. Occupant, that's what it said. Not Elias Vance, just occupant. A flicker of annoyance. Misprint, probably. Happens. I shrugged it off, heading to my laptop. Time to check emails, catch up on the world. I typed my password, the familiar rhythm of my fingers on the keys. Incorrect username or password. I tried again and again. Panic. Just a tiny prickle started to form. I checked my driver's license, pulled from my wallet. It was there, clear as day. My photo, my address. But the name field was blank. A smooth, empty space where Elias Vance should be. My breath hitched. This wasn't a glitch. This wasn't a prank. Later that day, I sat across from Sarah at our usual coffee shop. The clatter of cups, a distant hum. Her eyes, usually so warm and familiar, held a faint, unsettling confusion. Elias, I began, my voice a little too loud, a little too desperate. Do you remember my name? She frowned, a slight crease forming between her brows. Of course, I remember your name. What's wrong with you? But her eyes darted, searching, as if the answer was just out of reach. A cold dread seeped into my bones. She knew my face, my voice, but the name, it was a struggle. Her discomfort mirrored my own burgeoning terror. My best friend, and she couldn't recall my name without hesitation. It was like trying to grasp smoke. Days bled into a blur of escalating horror. The bank teller, usually so chipper, had looked at my ID with a bewildered expression. Sir, I can't process this. There's no name. My reflection in the mirror seemed thinner, less defined around the edges. I started recording myself, speaking my name, desperate to anchor my existence. The first few attempts, my voice was there, a shaky declaration. I am Elias Vance. But then the recording started to change. Static, distortion. My voice, my very sound, seemed to be fraying at the edges, dissolving into white noise. I tried to talk to my parents. My mom, her face a mask of concern, kept saying, "What's wrong, dear? You look so tired." She'd look at me, a flicker of recognition, then a cloud of profound puzzlement. "You keep talking about your name. What about it? "We know who you are." But the way she said, "who you are," was vague, a desperate attempt to fill a void she couldn't articulate. My dad, usually so stoic, wrung his hands. "Son, you're scaring your mother. Stop this nonsense." Their distress was palpable, a mirror of my own. They saw me, but they couldn't name me. It was like I was a ghost already, walking among the living, but entirely unseen by the framework of their memories. The realization hit me with the force of a physical blow. This wasn't a mistake. This was an active, systematic deletion. The universe itself was purging me. My physical form began to waver. I'd stand in front of the bathroom mirror, and my reflection would flicker like a bad signal. Sometimes a whole section of my arm would be missing, just a transparent outline against the tile. Other times, my face was a blur, like someone had smudged a charcoal drawing. My voice became a whisper, then a rasp. When I tried to speak, words formed in my mind, clear and urgent, but all that came out was a faint exhalation of air, an unheard plea. I tried to write, to leave a note, something, anything. I scrawled my name, my story, on a piece of paper. I watched, helpless, as the ink faded, dissolving into the fibers of the paper, leaving it blank. My fingers, as I held the pen, were becoming translucent. I could see the grain of the wooden table through them. The last time I saw Sarah, she was walking towards me in the park. I tried to call out, to scream her name, to force my existence back into the world, but no sound emerged. She looked right through me, her eyes empty of recognition, a faint, sad smile playing on her lips as she passed. It was as if I was a gust of wind, a ripple in the air, entirely inconsequential. The world was moving on without me. It was as if I was being unmade, thread by thread, from the tapestry of existence, not by a monster with fangs or claws, but by an indifferent, cosmic accountant correcting an oversight. A forgotten pact, a broken agreement, now being rectified with quiet, devastating efficiency. I don't know what I broke. I don't know what I did. All I know is the creeping chill of absolute nothingness. The light in my apartment, once a comforting glow, now felt alien, revealing the dust motes dancing in the air, each one more substantial than I was becoming. My apartment, the one I'd called home, began to lose its familiarity. The furniture seemed to shift, the angles slightly off. My favorite armchair, worn and faded, now looked like a stranger's possession. A dusty teacup sat on the coffee table, right where I'd left it this morning. A faint tremor ran through it, a barely perceptible shudder, as if something, unseen and unremembered, was settling into the space I had once occupied. The silence was absolute.